Okay. If you're gonna start early, you should at least have your microphone on. All right. Holy banana bread. Happy Groundhog Day, everyone. We're gonna talk a tiny bit about the groundhog. Not a lot. Not a lot. Lots of great stuff going on today. We, of course, as the sign behind me is indicating, we've got a green day on the market. So how many of you thought we would have a green day today? I did, but how many of you guys actually believed me when I said that we were probably going to have a green day today? Well, that's exactly what's happened. Not everybody is having strength. Obviously, we are still seeing some weakness in materials today, but also energy, a little bit of weakness in energy as well. But financials looking pretty strong, and we're going to take a look at that all here in a second. But it is Groundhog Day, and are we getting 6 more months of winter? 6 more months? Oh boy, oh that'd be terrible. Are we getting 6 more weeks of winter? The answer, well, it's kind of split. So here, let me let me pull up. Just give me a second here. We'll add this to the screen. We're going to come over here. This is from the Weather Network. So, Shubenacadie Sam in Nova Scotia is saying spring's coming early, while Fred Lamarmont from, it looks like Quebec, says also is saying early spring, as well as Wyerton Willie. Wyerton Willie, I love Wyerton Willie, is saying an early spring. And now, Punksa Watani Phil, I think he's a U.S. one. He's being a party pooper. More winter, as well as Manitoba Merv. Manitoba Merv is saying winter. We want more winter. And Balzac Billy also wants more winter. So of the six, three say more winter, three say early spring. You guys got to decide for yourselves. I will tell you what the science says. The science is not agreeing with Shubenacadie Sam. Unfortunately, the science is saying we're probably going to get 6 more weeks of winter, guys. Let's just face it. The groundhog, three of the groundhogs are wrong and three of the groundhogs are right, and I can say that with 100% certainty. Oh boy, what can I say? All right, now let's get back here for a second. Before we even get into the charts, right out of the gate, we got John Dernick in here as a new channel member. That's fantastic. Of course, that is John getting the goat squad going, and that's our Monopoly goat. So we're right out of the gate. We haven't even started the show, and that was in. So that's fantastic. So as you guys know, we have the Financial Express going. It's been going since the 1st of December. It has not stopped. So obviously, if you guys want to add a show tomorrow, the Financial Express is open. 4 supers or 4 gifted subs in any combination. Or if you gift one to yourself, that counts. So John's counts right now. We only need 3. So we're already out of the gate, doing fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah. Also, and let's just talk a tiny bit, channel membership. So John, of course, just joined, and that means there's another live stream tonight, guys. So we have a new thing I'm starting every Monday. I'm gonna have basically, I don't know, I'll call them after office hours, or just maybe just office hours. We'll just call them office hours. I'm gonna put in an hour, so I'll be available every Monday night for 1 hour. So the way we're gonna do it is, if the Financial Express is on, like it is today, it'll be 7 p.m. If the Financial Express is not on, then we'll knock it down to 4 p.m. So yeah, so right now tonight, there's no theme. There's there's no obligation for you guys to show up. Basically, it's just I'll be sitting in my office. We can talk, we can chat. Maybe you got some questions. Maybe you need some extra help with something. Anything you guys want to do. You got an hour of my time. Come in, use it wisely, or just come in and fool around. I don't care. We're gonna do. We're gonna just do whatever. We're gonna do whatever. I'm loving it. It's it's gonna be great. Yeah, we also, channel members, you get to see videos one day early. So you can already see the new 0 to 100K challenge. You guys can see it today. And guys, I gotta say, I'm struggling with the thumbnail on this one. I just don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. I've tried it dark. I've tried it light. Um, Feel free, if you guys check that one out, feel free to give me some thoughts on that thumbnail, because I'll tell you, it just isn't hitting with me, and I don't know why. But anyway, with all of that being said, let's let's jump back to the market. Oh boy. All right, so obviously, as I mentioned today, we do have a green day on the market. Let's pull it back on up. Here is the TSX. So currently right now, up 0.767, and we are, wait a minute. Where's my line? Where is my, oh, it wasn't on the TSX. I was like, where's my line? I was looking at the TSX, but I hadn't clicked on it. All right, that makes sense. All right, so I have adjusted the blue lines. So as you can see, well, right here, this is this morning. This is where we started this month, February. It's a shorter month, but so far we're in the green. What can I say? So right now we are currently on. Yeah, we're sitting in the green. Year to date, oh boy, we're at 1.01%. So we'll see if we can stay in the green this year. We're going to see if we can stay in the green here in February. So far, it's looking pretty good. As I mentioned today, financials, most of our sectors doing pretty good, other than materials, still not doing great. And energy certainly not doing as good either. Either, yeah, is that a word? I don't know. Yeah, so I actually had a couple of successful swing trades today. They weren't anything super, but nonetheless, they were successful. So I always say this: if you can walk away from a trade with a profit, that's a winning trade. I don't care how much the profit is; it's still a winning trade in my books. Alrighty, now looking south of the border, we've got the U.S. The U.S. Look at this; they started the day nice and strong, really big candle. The U.S. They're currently up 0.56%, well in the green, having a good start to February. Let's see if we can keep it up. That'll be the question. That will be the question. The U.S. Yeah, they also. A lot of it was a rebound for the U.S. Definitely a rebound from some of the volatility that we saw on Friday. There's also a little bit of earning momentum, because right now Q4 earnings are kind of that theme of the day. So they're definitely in focus, and we're going to see what we're going to get this week. I'm looking forward, of course, to NVIDIA. Oh boy, when is that? I don't think it's this week. I'm pretty sure it's not this week. It might. It's either the next. It's in February. That I can tell you that much. Hey, one of you guys, if you could just look it up for me, drop that in the chat. I want to know when it is. It's all I know is it's a Wednesday, and I know that those are one of my favorite market closes when we can watch NVIDIA. So what can I say? Now, speaking of NVIDIA, we got technology. The NASDAQ having a pretty good day, up 0.88%, green day. And it's looking good. Now, not all tech is doing great. I do want to point out something. I told you guys at the beginning of yesterday's show, if you guys were here for this week, we were talking about Moltbook. And I was telling you one of the phenomenon that's been happening with Moltbook is that because there's also a thing called Moltbot, and people, you basically, you install it locally and it works on Mac. So a lot of people have been buying Mac Minis like crazy, running out to buy Mac Minis to put this new AI agent on it. And I told you guys, I said, look guys, one of the reasons I was telling you this yesterday is watch Apple tomorrow. They're going to be up. So, and we're going to check over when we get to the heat maps. I'm going to focus us back on Apple, but look, the NASDAQ is up. We'll see how Apple is doing compared to other tech stocks. I think they should be doing better than other tech stocks today because of what I was mentioning. So we're going to find out here in a bit. All right, Dow Jones Industrial. Also, look at that. They're doing the best out of everyone today. They're up a full 1%, so 1.05%. So looking pretty strong. And the little guys, the Russell, also up 0.96%. Now, I mentioned that materials was having a little bit of a problem today. Yeah, they're still down. Gold down 4.63, silver down another 5.80, copper down 1.20. But it feels like we're getting ready to turn around on these. So I'm expecting some green on gold, silver, copper, platinum, all of them. I'm expecting some green tomorrow, not today. We don't have enough time. And I also mentioned oil was struggling a bit today, so oil down 5.10%. But somebody who's not struggling today is we're getting a little bit of a rebound in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin starting to move back up. This red line, I want them above that line. That's important. And we also talked about MSTE. So I said yesterday, I expected MSTE today to drop down into the threes. And it has done that. It has done that. Right now it's sitting at $3.82. Yeah, look at this. But it did wick down. It wicked all the way down to $3.70. So luckily there was a little bit of, if there wasn't some improvement in the price of crypto, it would have been lower. I was thinking that, if we didn't get improvement, I was thinking like 350, 360. So not too bad, not too bad. Well, unless you're holding it, then it's bad. All right, let's go to our heat map, and we will start with Canada, the TSX. As you can see, the banks having pretty solid day here today. Oh, and you know what? I got John up on the screen. Let me get John off of the screen. Oops, that's not John. Here's John. All right, there we go. The bank's having a pretty solid day. We got TD up 1.54, Royal Bank 1.72. That's pretty good. And BMO, look at them, 2.41. And, well, CIBC said, hold my beer. And they're up 2.97%. So definitely a strong day in the banks. Some of the some of the mineral companies are actually doing okay today, which is kind of interesting because with gold being down, you kind of almost expect that whole sector to be down a little bit. But look at this. Barrick Gold is almost up 1%, 0.92. Everybody else is down at least a little bit. Cameco, look at that, down another 2.62. Good buying opportunities. That's what I'm seeing. Looking over here to oil, you can see CNQ down 1.34, Cenovus down. Oh boy, Tourmaline down a full 4.73%. The railroads, CNR down a tiny bit, but it's kind of flat. I mean, it's only 0.24, and CP's up a little bit, 0.88. So we'll have to see. Rogers, Rogers down 2.27. Of course, I said the R word, so you watch. We'll get a timeout now because I said that, or hopefully not. Hopefully not. I haven't been noticing any times out today so far. Knock on wood. I need to knock on wood for that one. Heading south of the border. And here's what I wanted. I wanted to look at Apple. Look at Apple, up 3.92%. So that, of course, it's not entirely because of the iMac, the Mac Mini, buying spree that's going on. They also made, they've also got some AI deals that were in the news as well. So that's certainly helping them as well. But yeah, Apple having a good day, up 3.92. Google's having a good day, up 1.75. Broadcom down a little bit. Microsoft still struggling. Look at that, down 1.43. Meta also struggling, 1.31. And good old NVIDIA definitely struggling, 2.84 down. Tesla is down. Now, believe it or not, I actually did a micro trade with Tesla today. When I say a micro, it means I didn't go all in. Like normally I'll trade with about 1,000 of the CDR. I shared with half of that and, just rode them up because they had a nice little ride up and then they came back down. And of course, that's when my stop loss got hit. But I'm okay with that. Like I said, it was for me. Sometimes you make a trade where you just get in it and you're like, you know what? I'm going to get out of it later today. I just want to make a few bucks. And that's pretty much what the Tesla trade was for today. All right, guys, looking at crypto, as we know, it is a red day. Sorry, it is a green day. Bitcoin up. This one here is showing Ethereum as being down, but keep in mind this heat map runs off a slightly different different time scale. I believe it runs off of meridian, so like basically a time zone in Europe. All right, guys. So it is a green day. We're gonna grab a red. It's kind of a tradition here. I like to grab a red coin, an altcoin. There's more than 15,000 of these. Let's grab this one. What do we got here? All right. So we get the dairy protocol. All right. I don't know what this is. I cannot tell you anything about the dairy protocol. Yeah, it's it looks yeah, that sure looks stable, doesn't it, guys? Obviously, there's a whole bunch of these, and this is kind of one of the reasons I highlighted is just to show you there's a handful. You can just randomly grab one, and it's probably going to be crap. I do call them crap coins for a different reason, though, because it's like going to the casino, playing the craps, you throw the dice, you're probably going to lose, the house wins, you know. That's how it goes at casinos. This is a risky coin. This is a risky coin. If you are interested in an altcoin, it doesn't have to be Dairy Protocol. It could be anything. You want to do your homework. You want to read the white paper. So the white paper is basically the reason for the existence of the coin because it explains everything out in it. I would even follow the developers on social media. Check it out. Find out what's going on. But honestly, there's better ways to make money in crypto than an altcoin. You know, some people will make money on altcoins, but I'm not going to be one of them. I'm going to stick to the big coins. And when I say big, we're talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and gosh darn it. Yes, the Dogecoin. The Dogecoin. All right. Perfect. Let's get back to big screen and let's say hello to the chat. This is my favorite part. We get through all of the rigmarole and we get to you guys. Jonathan is in first. Am I late for spring? No, you got a long wait, my friend. A very long wait. Stan is in the house with a happy Monday. And Miss K in here. Good afternoon. Happy Monday, everyone. All right, and let's see here. Scott says it's Groundhog Day again. Yeah, now Scott, how many Groundhog Days have you experienced today? Is it happening over and over again? Just saying. You know, that would be, everybody knows Groundhog Day, a Bill Murray classic. How fun would that be, though? I would love it, to be honest. I would love it. Like, whatever the lesson to be learned is, I'm putting it off. I'm doing kind of like what Bill Murray did. I'm going to learn everything. Learn how to play musical instruments. Learn how to do a backflip. I'm gonna just do everything. I would do everything before I would eventually learn my lesson, so that I can break out of the time loop. But I think it would be fun. I'm just saying. Gursky says, hello, slightly green. Well, compared to Friday, this is very green. But then again, so is the color orange. Claude says, 6 more months of winter. We're not in Game of Thrones. No, well, Game of Thrones winter is coming. In the Game of Canada, winter's here. That's kind of that neat little thing. A funny thing, though, we were talking about, actually, me and Jill were having a conversation early about goats. And she was like, you should make a goat on the Iron Throne. I'm like, and it's just kind of funny because now that you mentioned Game of Thrones. All right, Samantha's in the house with a happy Groundhog Day. Paul says, good afternoon. Scott says, I'm counting the days until top-down driving weather returns. I don't know if I would like that. I'm just saying, there's too many things, too many insects could hit you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would like top down. Of course, I've only done it once. And that was, actually, it was in the winter, but it was in Alabama, so it was fine. But that's the only time I've ever been in a top down. Oh boy, Paul, 8 degrees. Oh boy, you guys are having a fantastic winter. Absolutely. Marina in the house with a happy Groundhog Day. And we got Mary in the house with a hello all. And guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So if you haven't yet hit that like button, now is the time. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys are busy doing that. Gosh, that is so good. And guys, let me just show you something very quickly. We're being watched. We're being watched. Right there. There she is. She's watching. All right. Put this back. Yeah, it's probably not back perfect. Oh well. Well. We'll live with it. We'll live with it. High five, kitty. She actually did high five me. So that's winter, by the way. So like I said, winter is here. Needless to say. All right, Marina says, what are your thoughts on Trump's announced Project Volt, a $12 billion strategic stockpile of critical minerals like rare earths, gallium, and cobalt to reduce U.S. reliance on China? I'm all for it as long as they buy it from us. We got the money. We got the minerals. Yeah, I know in theory, I don't see it as being a bad idea at all. You know, it doesn't, and I honestly, any country that does build high-end electronics and high-end systems, they probably should have some kind of a vault or at least some kind of a storage. Because you don't want to be in a situation where if a country like China, let's say you're getting all your minerals from China, you don't want a situation where you tick off China and they just cut off the supply to you and say, sorry, we can't give it to you now. So it makes sense to actually have it. I mean, it's kind of like if you think about oil, you've got your strategic oil reserve for when you need oil. It's there. Yeah, I think they should have it for, I think they should have a strategic stockpile of these minerals. And of course, if you're trying to get rid of your reliance on China, once again, hello, Canada has a whole bunch here, but you better start treating us better if you want our stuff. That's what I'm going to say. Otherwise, you're going to be paying top dollar. Gin Tuber says, hi, Candace, and good afternoon. What are your thoughts on MSFT? I bought the dip the other day and don't see a momentum to pull the stock back up to where it was. Yeah, I am in the same boat, actually, Gin. I have a swing trade open on Microsoft. So when Microsoft fell just after earnings, they went down quite a bit. Now, they have solid fundamentals, so I'm not worried. I know they're coming back up. But the question is, how soon? How long of a trade is it going to be? It's a really good question. I'm at a point now where if they continue going down tomorrow, I will probably I do this thing, I call it step. I call it sort of step averaging down. And how it works is like, well, here, let's actually, I'm trying to see how to explain it in words, and it's easier to explain it in pictures, per se. Let's go over here. Yes, this is that thumbnail for the next 0 to 100K. I just don't know if I like it. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We are here for, and I'm just going to go to the main page of Canva so I can get to the whiteboard. Here we go. All right, so if you have a stock that's falling, and I need a pen. I just need a pen here. Just grab a tool. We'll grab a pen. Here we go. So let's say, for example, oh, it didn't give me the pen. Let's say you got in at $125 on a stock. And your goal is, of course, you want it to go up. But instead, that stock starts going down. Next thing you know, it's down at, let's say, 115. So, that's a long way. That's a long way to recover. It's a long way to recover. So sometimes what I'll do is if my TA is indicating that, I'm going to do this as a dotted line, that it's probably going down a little further, well, I might actually sell it here and then I might then turn around and buy it here. So let's say, for example, it went down to 105. Well, okay, so there we go. That's 10. So to get break even, I would have had 125, but now my break even, is, well, it's now 115. So when it does recover, even if it recovers here and it just recovers a little bit, once it's back at 115, I'm already back. I'm already in the green. So you could say there's a couple of ways you can do it. Like, I consider this all one part of one trade, just because I sort of compartmentalize. There we go. I compartmentalize it in that way. Now you could say, some people might say, well, oh, this is simply you just took a loss and then you got a win. Sure, you could look at it that way as well. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Me, I just create it all in this one thing. I call it stepping. That's just my term. I don't know if anybody else calls it stepping, but I call it stepping. And basically, it's just a way of averaging down on a trade and on a longer term trade, and basically getting into profit faster than if I hadn't. So that's kind of that thing, because if you're stuck in a stock and it's heading down, that's the type of move that you can make. Now, I do want to say one thing. You want to make sure that you are sure that it's still going down, because if you made this move and all of a sudden it turned around, then you're stuck with that loss. You're stuck with it. At that point, you just put it in your books as a loss. Bang, there you go. You lost $10 a unit, so however many you were trading. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at with Microsoft. Like, I probably could have done a little bit of that today because it was down today. But honestly, today just wasn't, my attention wasn't fully there because I was editing a video and getting it all up and together. And most of that happened while I was doing that. So, all right. Brian is in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. And Michael says, good afternoon, Candace. Diversified is doing well again and approaching $4. Ooh, I like this. So Diversified, guys, that is Diversified Royalty here. So DIV. So Div, oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, 396. So 396.5. That just sounded like a radio station, but that's okay. This is the type of music I do like to hear. So yeah, it'd be nice to see them actually break the $4 mark. Other than the fact that, and this is kind of that thing, I always look at Div as being, when I got a little bit of money left over, I like to throw it into Div just because, it's cheap, it has a great dividend, and it's, oh gosh, it's been a reliable little stock for so long. But now if it keeps on going up and keeps getting more expensive, it's like I won't have the Div as my option when I have just a few dollars left over. I mean, other than if you're on Wealthsimple, yeah, you could throw $1 on it, no problem, because you got fractional investing over there. So I definitely like Wealthsimple. And speaking of Wealthsimple, let me just drop the code in here for you guys. If any of you have not yet tried Wealthsimple, here's my affiliate link. So when you set it up, they're going to give you a little gift. They're going to give you $25. They'll also give me $25, well, the channel per se. So it's a win-win, but they're very, very great if you're especially if you're a new investor, probably the easiest broker to really use. So I do love them. Give them a whirl, even if you already have a broker. You know what? It doesn't hurt to have more than one. I've got a couple, so you can have, you can have multiple TFSAs. The only challenge when you do have that, and I'll point this out, is that you want to make sure that you're still keeping track. It's not like you get double the contribution room. Your contribution room will go across both. So you want to make sure you're keeping track of stuff like that if you do have it. All right. Ooh, 1 minute to the bell, guys. Claude says silver was minus 10 some percent this morning. It crept back up slowly after that. Yeah, it absolutely did. Actually, this morning I went in and got some more AGCC. So I was liking it. Elaine is in the house with a hey all. All right. And I did update the Nightbot to February. So the Financial Express is still on. We are one of the 4 there. So we're doing good. Ian says the white paper is for wiping. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it is. That's for sure. Somewhere around 14,000. Oh my gosh. So 14,000 today. Yikes. Steven says, good afternoon to all. After research, added a small position of AGCC Silver CC ETF, Silver Covered Call ETF. Yeah, great. Uh-oh, guys. It is time. The market, whoops, the market's now closed. There we go. I'm loving it. Winter, what are you doing? Winter's over here just making a fool of herself. I think she wants treats. That's what I think she wants. But we'll see. Winter, you can't go down that way. I got my test machine there. All right. Winter the moderator. Oh, there we go. Winter. Winter, we're going to have to get you signed up on YouTube, and we'll get you one of them little wrenches next to your name. You're beautiful says, kitty. Scott, Trump got the Vault idea from Fallout. He switched to drinking Nuka-Cola. Yeah, maybe. Trump tends to get a lot of his ideas from television. I'm just saying. So you might have a point, Scott. Let's see. Microsoft have a gap fill at 395. Yeah, there was a big gap for Microsoft. And some people believe that stocks tend to come back and fill the gaps. It does tend to happen. I wouldn't call it a hard and fast rule, but yeah, it does tend to happen. So let's hope. Let's hope. I'm hoping because I got a swing trade that would love to see that gap filled. All right. Let's see here. Elaine says, Bell. Yeah, we got it. Oh my gosh, I'm caught up. What's going on? Navi says Fidelity lists SLV, GLD, and MSFT top buying by retail investors in recent days. Yeah, I think Microsoft is going to rebound. Like I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm just waiting for it to happen, for sure. All right, let's see. Elaine says almost made back what I lost last week. All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, last week that was a little bit of a kicker for sure because yeah, things came down pretty hard on Friday. And I'll admit I did not see that one coming. I knew there was the potential for a red day on Friday, just because end of the month, that's when you get liquidations of a lot of contracts. So yeah, I was expecting a possibility. But yeah, I just wasn't expecting a lot of things to come together the way it did. So we did get a bigger red day than expected. But guys, it's part of the market. And if you've got the funds and you utilize them during those red days, not a bad move. Not a bad move at all. Stella Jones at all-time highs. Oh, let's head over. I do like Stella Jones quite a bit. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. Sitting up here at 95.68. Wow, I'm liking it. I had held Stella Jones in the challenge for a while. I sold it up in here. Because at that time I think the TA was making me think it was either the TA or something I read. I can't remember exactly, but something spooked me, and I was like, it's time to take the profits. So I took the profits, and just give me a second here. Let's go big screen, and you guys can see the cat is Winter is trying. I'll even pull this away. Winter's trying to get my attention. She's trying to get she wants the treats. That's what she wants. And she'll be persistent. We'll see. Unless she gives up. Now, sometimes she gives up. Right now, so far, she's just sitting there staring at me like, look at me, look at me. Right, so Stella Jones. So yeah, I got out up here. Oh gosh, I really wish I had gotten back in here. I really wish I had gotten back in down below. But look at this. Yeah, they're pretty much, um, I would say tied because back here they did peak a high of 98. So we're not all-time highs. We're getting there though, because you got today we peaked at 95.84, but I imagine by tomorrow. So that'll be kind of cool. All right, Claude says, with those cash ETFs, I read that you must track your ACB in a non-registered account. Was wondering how it worked because when you sell, you're taxed, right? Um, okay. Well, it depends on where you're holding it, right? If you're holding a cash ETF in your TFSA, it's all tax-free. Like you don't have to worry about your adjusted cost base in that situation. If you are holding it outside, so yeah, if you're holding it in a non-registered account, it would still follow the same. It would follow the same rules as anything else in a non-registered account. So let's say you bought it at 50 and you sold it at $50.10. Well, yeah, you would have a 10-cent capital gain in there for each unit. So yeah, it would follow the same general rules in your non-registered account. As well, the payments that you receive, boy, that's a great question. I think in this case, I don't know if it would, I don't know 100% if they would be classified as dividends. They might be. Something inside of me is saying maybe they might be as interest. I'll look into that one because I don't know. If anybody here does know, please throw that in the chat. But yeah, I think, and here's the thing, I've never used a cash ETF outside of my TFSA. That's kind of where I use them. Let me look in to the tax breakdown on a cash ETF and a non-register because I've never looked at it. You know, it's either, I don't know why, there's a part of me that thinks it could be interest, but I might be very wrong on it. So take me with a grain of salt on that one. Winter wants to co-host today. Winter, do you want to co-host? There we go. She just jumped up and said, yes, let me co-host. All right, here. All right, guys. Today's show is brought to you by Temptations. No, it's not. It's not. No sponsor. But that's just what she wants. Here we go. Here we go. There you have some treats and that way there. Don't say I never gave you anything. Actually, her birthday. She's turning 2. It's February something. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it's within a week. Within a week, it's her birthday. So. There you go. Happy birthday, Winter. Scott. And that was actually, sorry, Scott, I'll get back to you in a second. The reason we named her Winter was because she was born in the winter. And quite literally, the day we went to get her, it was in March. And it was snowing. It was snowing. And then, you know, a little white cat, a bunch of snow, born in winter. Her name had to be Winter. So, what can I say? All right. Scott says, I sold all of my USCL and swapped it for HYLD today. Nice. I really like HYLD. I think that's a good choice. Yeah, exactly. I'll have to look into that one for you, Claude. Hi again. HND is now profit territory, 49% ROI overnight. Natural gas plummeted. Nice. You gotta love that. That makes up for that makes up for a lot for sure. All right, let's see. Jan says, I found AGCC to have done best of my picks today. Nice. Do you happen to have a spring hanging around there, Candace? No, I do have an autumn. So 2 cats are named after season. We got Winter and our orange cat. She's a bit more of a calico almost, though not typical calico color. She's got orange and a bit of black and a little bit of white. But she is, her name is Autumn because, you know, she was actually born in the autumn as well, and she kind of reminded me of Autumn. So, and then there's Mr. Riley. So I have jokingly said that if we get another cat one of these days, we're going to have to name them, you know, spring or summer, but I don't think Jill will go for it, but I would. I'm okay with a themed cat names. Claude says, let's see. I must say I'm very tempted to do the same, but I'll wait a full year, I think. All right. Wayne. Wayne is in the house. Bitcoin investors liquidated 2.56 billion in recent days, according to data provider CoinGlass. Cryptocurrency slumped following a sell-off in other risk areas, including equities and metals. Yeah, we definitely had quite the sell-off. But at least now, and let's let's see if it's still holding up. But at least now, it does look like we're getting a little bit of at least some relief. Relief with Bitcoin. Here we go. I was going too far. Here we go. So yeah, at least right now we're starting to. Now, mind you guys, keep in mind, we seem to be getting a little bit of this before we got the next big dump. So this doesn't mean that we're out of the water. It doesn't mean that we're out of the water with Bitcoin. I will be a lot more happier, as I said. Let's get back above 85 and I will be happy. Actually, it's interesting. I'll chart it later. I'll see where the next big resistance support levels are for Bitcoin, because it'll be interesting to see, because that, I still don't like it down here. I really want it above that line. Silver. Jan says, awesome. Scott, I picked today because it's my non-reg and it sold for about 250. All right, very cool. Downtrend in BTC looks like. Well, it's, you know what, we need more time to really call it, like, you know, because right now we've got, well, I suppose if you actually do, I don't want to shorten this because it will mess me up. I know it will. Yeah, I think if you look at Bitcoin on the last while, it's been certainly going down, but I still don't think we're heading into crypto winter at this point. And I'm still holding that we're going to have one more big hurrah this year before we go into a crypto winter. So I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong, but I don't think I am. I think it'll be interesting nonetheless. So we're going to see how it goes. All right. Now, guys, we have a big event coming up soon. So we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And right now we're sitting at 9,983. So we are 17 away. And once we hit that mark, we're going to have an event show. It'll be a live stream, and it's going to be 10,000 seconds long. So that's like 2 hours, 42 minutes, something like that. And we're going to play a game. We're going to play a big old game. And you can sort of see behind me, we've got a spin wheel there. That's going to come into, we're going to bring that out. We're going to bring out the spin wheel, and we're going to have some fun. It's probably, realistically, we'll probably hit that this week. But realistically, we'll probably have our celebration stream around the middle of the month, I think. So it'll be a lot of fun. I do these a lot, guys. If you've been around the channel for a while, I think we started it at 1,000 subs. At 1,000 subs, I did a drinking stream, and I don't drink, so I may have gotten slightly sloshed on that one. We did the Hot Ones challenge on one of them as well. Oh my God! One of the more interesting ones. I think it was the 5,000 subs. At 5,000 subs, I did a open to close stream. So that was like 8 hours, or no, 7.5 hours. I don't know, however long that is. So absolutely. Farron was up again today. Yeah, I'm loving Farron. I do have Farron. So this is Farron Technology Group, FTG. Here, let me pull it up and take a look. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I actually meant to go over here. All right, FTG. Yeah, they've been doing really good. Look at this. Oh my gosh, another 6.17%. Holy cow. But here, let's pull up the 1 year, and you can sort of see what we're talking about. And this kind of makes sense, because I was thinking when they did this, I was thinking we might get a tiny correction, and we did, and now they're climbing back up. So I do like Farron. And I can't even remember when I first added them. How long? It's been a while. I looked at them and I saw some potential, And so I added them in the challenge. And right now, spoiler alert for those of you who are not channel members and haven't seen the new 0 to 100K, they did really well. They did really well. So they may have cracked the top 5. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see for sure. Roku says, I tuned in late. Wealthsimple has a new game to win a gold coin. Go to the app and scroll to the bottom and spin the coin. Maybe you already mentioned it. I did not mention it. They have oh, I wonder. Oh boy. I'm going to grab my thing and let's see if I can win on the air then. I don't know if that's, all right, I'm just trying to log into Wealthsimple. We'll do that. All right, let's actually, here, we'll go big screen. I got the iPad here, and right now we're still trying to load into good old Wealthsimple. Oh, now it wants my fingerprint. Oh, that never works. I don't know about you guys, but oh, no, it didn't. I have to actually, okay, continue. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, boy. I'm having trouble logging in. I don't know what it is. I think it's like, okay, you don't want to miss this ad. I don't want to register right now. I just want to, my gosh. Oh, well, it's just not letting me. It's not accepting my fingerprint. Guys, I don't know why I have so many problems with my fingerprint. I think it's the temperature. I think when it gets colder in the year, like in the summer, my fingerprint works. In the winter, my fingerprint doesn't work. I'm gonna have to, you know what I should do? I should add a second fingerprint. I should have my summer and my winter fingerprint on file. Oh my gosh, come on, seriously. Let me in. I just want to spin. I want to win. All right, can one of you guys spin and let me know if you win? Because I can't right now. I quite literally, I can't get past the continue. I can't get past here. It will not accept my fingerprint. I'm going to try clicking in here. Okay, ooh, can I actually enter? Let me try, I think it's letting me enter my password. All right, let's try this. All right, log in. Please let me in. Oh no, this is the worst thing it could have done. Maybe it's the worst. All right, give me a second. Oh gosh. I'm just gonna see if I can get it. Nope, I don't have it here. Here's the worst thing it could do is it sent me a code to my phone. So, all right. Wealthsimple is out of commission here until I have access to my phone. My phone is the camera. So, nothing I can do about that. Oh, gosh. That is so annoying. All right. Well, we went down a rabbit hole and got bitten on the nose. How many coins are available to win? Good question. Good question. I don't know. Let's see. Roku says you don't win immediately, but get a bunch of entries each day. 15 coins to win. Okay. All right. Let's see. Marina says there's a speculation that a SpaceX XAI merger will be announced this week. Ooh, that would be really, really interesting. Because of course everybody. Excuse me. Oh gosh, frog. Good coffee. SpaceX bought, a significant little percentage of XAI last week, so that might have been setting them up. And I have been saying that between SpaceX, XAI, Tesla, Starlink, all of that, that there's a bigger picture going on behind the scenes with these guys. And I'm not talking like a conspiracy. I'm just talking about sort of a bigger business picture. So I kind of didn't think that there would be any kind of mergers because I think they want to stay off the radar of regulators. But Maybe space, yeah, maybe SpaceX and XAI could probably pull it off, but I don't think they could officially merge with Tesla without really causing some issues. But that is interesting. And Muggsy says you win entries each day to win one of 15 coins. Nice. I need to do that. Oh, guys, you want to hear something funny? I almost never. It's very rare that I get an affiliate an affiliate referral for Shakepay, but I got one the other day. I was just like, what? Because we're mostly we talk about crypto a bit, but yeah, somebody used my Shakepay affiliate, and I was just like, okay, there we go. That's kind of cool. Let's see, Spalix, ooh, or Spay Ice X. Yeah, all right. Oh boy. Yeah, Muggsy says, I just got 100 entries. The contest closes February 28th, and winners will be reached on March 13th. Isaiah, would you say that CPCC is more of a growth play than an income play? Long-term horizon. The interesting thing with CPCC, so yeah, when you look at it, you'll be like, okay, that's a pretty small dividend. And here, let's actually pull up CPCC first of all. All right, so this is your Global X copper producer. All right, and when you look at it, first of all, let's go down here and look at, whoa. All right, here we go, there we go, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's not that big of a dividend. So it's like 6.997, so we'll say 7%. But what you got to keep in mind is that, I'll just pull up the 3-month because they've only been here for this long. They launched at about $20. So they've already gone up almost $5. So you're getting a good chunk of growth. Absolutely. So with that good chunk of growth, obviously they will keep on. Well, obviously that dividend yield keeps coming down because it's a function of how much it's costing compared to the dividend itself. The dividend doesn't change, but yeah, this will come down. Now, it doesn't mean that they could certainly, and I do expect to see that dividend actually increase. Will it happen immediately? Well, it's hard to say. It's like, only Global X knows. But I do expect to see that at least increase every so often. But here's the thing. So, that's pretty cool. We're going to come, well, we're not going to the Groundhog. I think I've got CPC in here. Yeah, here we go. But now you ask the question, are they more of a growth play? Well, they're not an income stock. They are what I call a growth income stock. So growth income, that's basically your hybrid. That is your hybrid between dividend growth investing and income investing. But here is the beautiful thing here. So right now, they're writing an average of 26.05% of covered calls. That means on 26.5% of that portfolio. So most of the portfolio. So we're looking at what? 73.95% of that portfolio is getting 100% the growth. So, because there's not covered calls on it. And now, and this is actually interesting. Now this number has come down, but currently they're writing with the average moneyness currently is at 4.43%. So what that means is that their strike price is 4.43% above where the spot price is. So it's giving a little bit of room for growth. I would like to see that number a little bit higher. I really would, because I know on silver it's pretty high. But I'd like to see that go a little bit. I'd like to see that go up higher. It was higher. Actually, even last week when I looked at it, it was higher. But yeah, so are they? They're still a hybrid stock. Like, to me, they're a really good hybrid stock. Now, if you were a pure income player, you might look at this and say, nope, not for me. It's just not high enough. And that's fine. But I think with this one, you are going to get both. You're going to get that growth. You're going to get, 7% is not a bad income. So you are going to get both. I'll put it that way. But it's not, you're right, it's not an income play. It's a hybrid play. All right. The markets are so frothy. Yeah, they can be. Normally the spring is a time for volatility. You normally will find like the spring has a bit of volatility, and summer tends to be more dead, lower volume. And then, the fall tends to be, I would say that the fall tends to have a bit of a different type of volatility. Sometimes the fall, I find the fall can be really, really good, or it can be really, really bad. So let's see here. Paul says Palantir beat earnings up 7.44% in after hours. Oh, nice. And that, yeah, that does make sense. Palantir, yeah, I mean, they've had a really good run. Here, let's take a look. Let's actually take a look here. I have to add them because I don't have Palantir here. There we go, Palantir. But I deleted a few before the show, so I have room. All right, here's Palantir. Now, right now, we can't see the earnings. They haven't come in yet. But here you can see in the after hours, Palantir up right now at 159 compared to the 147. Now they have been coming down, but keep in mind this is Q4, right? So this is the last part. And here, actually, I'm not going to pull it up in here, but let's go over here, and we'll pull it up over here. We'll bring up Palantir. We'll go to the US one. Why not? Here we go. And let's just go to the last, actually, you know what? We'll go to the last 6 months. We'll go to the last year. that works. So yeah, right. Basically, this is the end right here. So basically, this entire fall, not in this earnings report. This earnings report is basically from about, from basically in here. And they were doing fantastic. Yeah, you had this one little V in here, but for the most part, yeah, they did pretty good in that time. So I can definitely see them doing well for sure. All right. And Jill's saying we got her early April and her birthday is February 9th. There we go, the 9th. You Are Beautiful has a thumbs up. Ooh, thumbs. Guys, let's take a look. I always forget to look at the likes. I'm just going to refresh the test box. Well, let's see where we're at. 40. We only got 40 likes, guys. Let's get to 50, and then we'll move from there. But let's get to 50, guys, right away. It takes nothing to hit those likes. All right. Brian says, nice on Palantir. They have been going down for a while. Sky says, hi, Candace. Would growth income stocks ETFs be better in an RRSP and pure income in TFSA, or vice versa? All right. So RRSP. There's only one stock. Well, there's more than one, but anything you put in your RRSP is 100% taxable. So when you're looking at income stocks or income ETFs, whether they be pure income or whether they be growth income, it doesn't matter. They're all going to be taxed the same way, 100% right across the board. So with that in mind, what is best in an RRSP is total return. That's all it boils down to, because, you want whatever's going to grow the most in that RRSP. It's all 100% taxable when you do pull it out. So I will even say, even with income, like if you're an income investor, pure income investor, you don't want to be throwing income stocks in your RRSP. You really don't. You're actually better off, in my opinion, you're better off holding them outside of in a cash account than your RRSP, unless, and here's the caveat, if you have U.S. stocks. If you have U.S. high dividend stocks, then yeah, you want to throw them into your RRSP so you're not losing that 15%. Now, mind you, you're still getting taxed on everything when you pull it out, but you're not going to lose it. Yeah, I would tend to look at it that way. Now, I would, so when it comes to holding a growth income stock, so if you got a stock like CPCC that has a lot of growth, well, if you're planning to hold it long term, and I can't see why wouldn't you, I would put that one outside of your TFSA if you have, if you don't, if space is an issue, only because it is going to be pretty tax efficient. It'll be very tax efficient because you're going to have a lot of it being capital gains that you're not going to get taxed on unless you actually sell it. So it really boils down to your perspective in that case. All right. Isaiah saying 81 watching, 41 likes. You're batting 500. I know. I want to bat 750. That's what I want to bat. I want to bat about 750. Now I'm refreshing it again. Why am I doing this? Normally I just don't even pay attention, and then Mary comes in and says, "Guys, get yourselves in order." 49. Okay, guys, one of you right now, one of you, just hit the button. Hit the button. It's not that hard. Oh, so good. All right. Paul says Wealthsimple has a 1% over 1 year or 2% over 3 years or 3% over 5 years match bonus paid monthly. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Marina says, Candace, what are your thoughts on Canny? I'm torn. Should I hold steady or sell it off? The idea was to sell my bank holdings and keep canning, but I'm not happy with Canny so far. I agree. I have not been happy with Canny so far. Now, in all fairness, it sometimes does take a little while to get to really start to get some better data, because right now, even looking at it total return wise, you're not, we don't have a big history of dividends yet. However, when you compare it to something like HHIC, I think HHIC has done a lot better. So and also kind of the difference between the two is I do think Canny is even a little bit more aggressive than HHIC, and that might be part of it. Now, if I was put into a situation where it was like you could either have bank or Canny, which one do you want? I would actually go bank, just because bank has proven itself. Bank has that history, and our banking system is very, very stable. So I would choose bank over Canny, but Canny should conceivably do well. And Evolve, this is the nice thing about Evolve, is that if Canny continues to underperform, I'm sure they'll get in there and mix that up somewhat. I mean, they do have a good management team, so I can't see them letting them underperform. And especially if we do have a strong year in Canada again this year, there's no reason why Canny shouldn't do okay. But keep in mind, you're not going to get a ton of growth with Canny because it is pretty aggressive. But my thing with Canny is I want to see it going forward. I want to see it at least going sideways, and I want with that income at very least. So, and just sort of to give you an idea, let's take a look. Actually, I haven't looked at Canny in the last couple of weeks here. Actually, today it did okay. It was up 0.86%. But yeah, here we go. Let's pull up. I'll just grab the 6-month here. So yeah, as you can see, and it's not, when I talk about going sideways, it is going sideways for the most part. We're in the down part of some of that volatility. So yeah, it's hard to say, because this here is just what's left over from what happened on Friday. So I don't blame Canny for this, but it is mostly going sideways. So we're not seeing that growth. And I mentioned as well that and I'll just show you HHIC. So this here is the harvest one. All right, and we'll pull it up, and we'll go with just the 3-month on this one as well. And you can see with HHIC, it has significantly increased. So I like HHIC for that reason. But once again, it's not as aggressive as Canny. With Canny, you're getting dividends twice a month, and it is a high yield. So that's one of the dangers with Canny, unfortunately. All right, let's see here. Whoops. All right, here we go. Scott says, my growth investments are in... Oh, wait a minute, guys. Did I just show Canny without it being on the screen? Oh, gosh. All right. All right, well, I'll just show it again. So this is HHIC, since it's come out. And like I said, less aggressive. And Canny, let's come back here to Canny and the 3-month. Canny's been moving kind of sideways. So, and that's that aggression, right? The more aggressive you get with covered calls, yeah, you're going to have some great income, but you're really sacrificing a lot of growth. That's the story that we're having with Canny for sure. All right, now, Scott, my growth investments are in RRSP, RRIF, and income in non-registered and TFSA. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. All right. Now, oops, I do see something. I see something. All right, we got a super sticker coming in from Sky, 279. And if you like things that are in the sky, how about space? Because we got Space Goat. All right. So the Goat Squad is active today. And if that's not enough, we also got Samantha in with a 149 super sticker. And this one is like a yellow cat dog. I think it's a dog. But nonetheless, Goat Squad in the house, and this gives us our TSX goat. So we're getting there. And guys, keep in mind, if we do get to 5, we have that new seasonal goat. That's our Valentine Day goat is in there at number 5 if you guys want to go there. But we only need one more to open up tomorrow's show. All right. Well, let's zip on back to the show. Where were we? We were on Brian. All right, any of my U.S. stocks ETFs are in my RRSP. About 25% of my RRSP is U.S. Yeah, that's a perfect place for those U.S. stocks for sure. And let's see, Scott says about 12 to 15% of my investments are income. And rumor has it, so Scott, did I miss lucky number 10,000? I don't think so. I think right now, no, we're still sitting here at 99.83. All right, and the Financial Express, and I see something else here. Marina has just secured tomorrow's show, so we got a gifted Mountain Finance membership. Ian, oh my God, Ian has been dying to be gifted a membership. Like because he's down there in Colombia and he can't buy a membership because of some kind of weird thing going on with the finance system. So he's been in chat over and over again for the last few months saying, somebody please gift me a membership. There we go. Congratulations. Now, of course, this is about Samantha. Samantha has unlocked our next Goat Squad. This here is Professor Goat. So looking at those financial formulas, all of that fun stuff. And we do have a show tomorrow. If of course we do get one more, guys, you will see the Valentine's Day goat because that is our special goat. All right. Oops, actually, I was getting to the congrats, but we still I jumped over a couple to say hi to Marina. So and it's not fair to Marina to jump over Marina for Marina, so I have to get back to Marina. Okay, so anyway, Marina says, I'm aggressively drawing down my RRSP before I start collecting OAS and CPP. For that reason, I keep income ETFs in my RRSP and transfer them to my TFSA and non-registers. Okay. I mean, there's more than one way to do things. I always just say, obviously, if you have room in your TFSA, that's always, to me, the best place for your income just because, it becomes tax-free and it doesn't impact things like OAS. Because OAS, I think it's around 97,000 where you would actually lose, you get most of your OAS clawed back, but I have to check the numbers. I haven't looked at the numbers in the last year. It's been a long time since I've done an OAS video. Although I will say, actually, the #1 video on the channel is an OAS video that I did back in a long time ago, but it's got a crazy amount of views. All right, and Sky says Space Goat is my favorite. Mine too. I love Space Goat. All right, now we can get to the congrats for Ian. Congrats, Ian. Ian, I hope you're here. I really hope you're here when this happened, because it would be hilarious if Ian had walked away from the computer and completely missed that he won a membership. Mario, finally Ian won. Muggsy, wow, congratulations, Ian. And Samantha says, congrats, Ian. All right, and let's see. Steve says there are 15 coins. You can spin the coin every day in February for entries. I got 100. Nice. And Scott says OAS starts getting clawed back above 90K. Yeah, I knew it was 90 some amount. So Hopefully, they give a bit more room for that. After all the inflation and everything that we've had. So it'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen the new adjustments for this year, but what can I say? But also, yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys are doing pretty well. A lot of you guys have a half decent amount of money, but there are people there's people here right now, that are not in that boat, and they might, for example, they might be looking at GIS territory when they retire. So GIS, that's the guaranteed income supplement for basically folks who aren't making a lot of money, and it's pretty tight. Now, with that, you got to be really careful with your income, because if you at least use your TFSA effectively, the money that you do have saved and invested, you could at least get a whole bunch of tax-free income coming out of that. That's not going to impact like the GIS in that case, which is, to me, that's a really good thing. A really good thing for sure. Well, what can I say? Holy banana bread. I'm still excited for Ian, and I can't believe he missed it. I can't believe he missed it. And here we go. Marina has the number. It's 93,454. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Let me ask this question, though. Let me ask this question. That's when it starts, right? And you can go up to, and is it, for some reason, 97 keeps popping in my head. Is 97 where you pretty much lose all of it? Is it that short of a window? I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I really would. Like I keep a lot of the things that you guys ask me over and over again. That stuff firmly in my head, but something like this, like quite literally, I look up OAS if I'm making a video, and I haven't made a video in a while. Let's see. Benefits reduced by 15% of income above this, fully clawing back at, oh boy, I was way off. All right, good. Thank you, Marina. $152,062, ages 75 to 74, or that 157,923 if you're over 75. That's right. We've got a two-tiered retirement system, folks. I kind of don't like it. I kind of don't like it being two-tiered. I don't know. I just think that, you worked your life, you retire, you shouldn't have to then have to wait for like a second tier. Just give everybody what, make it the same. Make it the same. But I can understand, yeah, oh well. I just don't like it. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Oh boy. All right. I'm almost out of coffee, guys. All right, let's see. It's even worse when you're single, no income sharing. Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, guys. If you have a significant other and you guys have not looked at income sharing, highly, highly recommend you look at it, because you can save a lot of money. You can save a lot of taxes if you, if you sort of divvy the money up between the two of you, and a lot of times it can pull you out of some pretty higher, into those higher tax brackets. It can pull you down. So it is worth it. It is worth it to look into it. I know I did a video on it a couple years ago, but it is huge. It is absolutely huge. I think Paul is using income sharing. I remember Paul mentioning it a couple times in chat. So definitely. And the fact, and Scott's well aware of it. So maybe, I don't actually know how old Scott is. But if you were at that age, Scott, maybe you're using it. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I have to guess. Let's see. Yes, Canada's retirement system is a progressive multi-tier. I know. It's funny. It is funny. Oh, well. What can we do? All right. So, guys, if you got we're getting close to the end. We normally end this around an hour and a half. But if you guys got those last-minute questions, just get them in now anyway. Doesn't mean that we're ending it right now. As long as you guys keep talking, I'm here. But let's see what you guys got. Ooh, Rory says, just build that TFSA to 500K or 1 million. Well, that's the thing. That's a thing, right? Could you imagine if you had a $1 million, oh, oh my gosh. I was just thinking, if you built your TFSA to $1 million, like obviously you've made a lot of good trades and a lot of good investments to get it there. And then if you took a $1 million TFSA and turned it into a tax-free income machine, holy banana bread. That, well, here, let's just do a quick calculation. I'm going to do a very quick calculation here. Got the calculator. All right. All right, so here's what I want to do here. All right, $1 million. Let's take $1 million, and we're not going to look at diversification. I'm just looking at Canoe. That's it. Just Canoe. If we were to take that and, let's say Canoe is sitting at, I don't know, what is it, $17 now? So, all right. So if you just sat back and said, I'm just buying all Canoe, and then you left it alone, you'd be looking at $5,800 and roughly $5,800 or so, almost $5,900. Just monthly, tax-free coming out of that. And that's not, and Canoe is probably not the best answer for that because, the yield's pretty low on that one. But, you could really have oh my God, you could have a lot of income. Even if you got 10%, that would be like $100,000 a year tax-free. Just by getting 10%. That would be really, really interesting. I almost feel like I should make a video about it. Just, that would be kind of cool. Scott says, not only do you get to split the income for tax purposes, but you also get to share living expenses. Well, there's that too, right? It's expensive to live on your own. Oh gosh, rents have gone through the roof in the last what? Ever since we got out of the pandemic, rents have just been absolutely crazy. Yeah, it can be very, very expensive. Oh, the Nightbot. We don't need the Nightbot because we already have a show for tomorrow. Whoops. All right, just give me a second here. I'm just turning the Nightbot off. Oops, that's not the Nightbot. There we go. That's the Nightbot. All right, there we go. And Scott says, I will be eligible for CPP this year. I will not be starting it this year. Yeah. And that's a thing, right? So CPP, do you start it at 60? Do you start it at 70? Do you start it right in the middle? It's always a good question. I always think, and I did a video on it a long time ago, but I think what it boils down to me is, 1, your health, 2, your expected lifespan. So if you are in a family where everybody dies young and your health is not great, it probably makes sense to take it sooner. Whereas if you're in a family where almost everybody lives deep into their 80s and 90s and your health is fantastic, well, it might make more sense to delay it. So, and that's just one factor. Obviously you want to put all of your factors together, but it certainly can. There's Ian. We were waiting for Ian to come back. Holy crap, I won. Did not think it was worth possible. Thanks. Yeah, we were all like, Ian won. Ian's a person who's been begging to win. So yeah, and you weren't there. You stepped away from the computer and you missed the moment. Oh, Ian. But you know what, Ian? Just for you, Ian, I am going to, normally we need a fifth. A fifth to see the special goat, our seasonal goat. But just because Ian missed that whole giant excitement, I'm dropping it. I'm going to drop it anyway. Guys, here is the Valentine Day goat. Just for you, Ian. Oh, I love that one. It's so good. All right. Rory says, I'm not worthy. Scratch says, Cardinal Energy is one that I increased my position over the years just to get those juicy dividends in my TFSA. Nice. We got a few more congrats. Yeah, a whole bunch of more congrats for Ian. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So guys, if you have not, so if you're a channel member, and Ian, you're now a channel member, you're able to watch tomorrow's video today. Today. So I do love that. I do love that. Also, oh, by the way, Ian, we have office hours tonight at 7 Eastern. So basically, I'll just be in a live stream for an hour. You guys can come in, you can ask questions, you can get extra help, or you can just come in and chat about this, that, or anything. There's no rules. There's like no rules at all. It's kind of just it's like, you know, if I was a professor at a university and I just have an hour where I have my door open for students, it's kind of like that. Although, not that I'm calling you guys students, I'm just saying it's just, I don't know, it's kind of inspired by that. It's just, we'll try it out if you guys like it, and then you get some use from it, then we'll just keep it. That's the way I look at it. Also, what else? Oh, by the way, I think next week, not this week, but next week we're probably going to have our, I haven't written up the schedule yet, but I think next week we're going to do the live stream. So the actual channel members live stream. That's where you guys give me topics that you want me to cover ahead of time. That way there I can actually prepare stuff. You know, sometimes I have stuff already prepared on the whiteboard and all of that for it. So I enjoy those. Scott says Professor Goat has the hearts on its knees as well. Does it? I didn't notice. All right, well, let's take a look. Let's look at Professor. Oh, I can't see Professor Goat. All right. Oh, yeah, you're right. There we are. Those two little hearts. Okay, I actually had to drag the screen over because the camera was in the way. So, all right. So Professor Goat has the hearts as well. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, you know, it's animals have these patterns. I'll just say. I guess perhaps Sora seems to like that pattern because we've had a couple goats that have had that pattern on it. Guys, before we go though, I want to make sure we got to we had to have at least gotten our 50 likes here. 66. All right, not bad. Normally I like to get to 70 though, guys. I like the 70. Come on, guys. That's what I should do. I should put up a goat. We'll call it the like goat, and I'll just put it on loop, and it won't leave until we get to 7. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to obsess that much. All right. Marina says, let's see, over 350 Canadians have TFSA balances over $1 million. Nice. It must be due to explosive growth via high-risk plays like penny stocks, options trading, or private company shares, not just long-term compounding. Yeah, exactly. In some cases, like, NVIDIA could have certainly really pushed up your thing if you'd gotten in nice and early on something like that. But yeah, I mean, in some cases, and also some of the Bitcoin exposed assets could certainly have helped. And also, if you're doing your swing trading, even if you're doing swing trading at a non-getting on the CRA's radar length of time, yeah, you could certainly do okay. There was that one guy, though, and I remember it was in the news. He had been doing he'd been doing more closer to day trading in his TFSA, and he had it over $1 million, but the CRA came down on him, and he's gonna have to. I think he would have ended up with a giant tax bill at the end of it. So yeah, you want to be careful. You guys always want to be careful. Scott says, geez, I thought I was doing okay. 1 million Canadians have $350. So that's probably accurate. There's actually, I don't know what the statistic is, but I heard it once and it was scary of how many Canadians haven't even used their TFSA. And in addition to that, there's also a crazy number of Canadians who just put cash in their TFSA. They think it's a savings account. They just put the cash in there and they don't realize that they should be investing in it. They don't realize what the TFSA does. And that's why I really think they misnamed it. It should never have been called the TFSA. It should be a TFIA. So a tax-free investing account. That's what they should have called it. But what can we do? Brian says the one person had 20 million and CRA says it was legal, but will not say how he did it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's really, I can't even imagine. I wonder, I wonder, as a thought experiment, if we could go back to the beginning of the CRA and then just sort of cherry pick all the investments. Of course, we have the data. We know what ones are going to do really well. I wonder what the maximum amount we could get that TFSA up to. Oh boy, these are some interesting ideas that I don't know if I'd make that into a video, but it would be very interesting. Scratch says finance should be taught. Should be taught. We'll put taught. Should be taught in schools. Yeah, absolutely. I know when I finished high school, I'm sure I could do quadratic equations. I could do basic calculus, but nothing on how to do my taxes. The only thing I got as growing up on taxes is my mom was basically saying, "Oh, you go to H&R Block, they do it for you." Of course, once I found out that that they were taking money from that, I was just like, no, I'm going to figure this out myself. But yeah, I think students leaving high school, and it doesn't matter what, whether you're academic or whether, what track you're on, you should know basic stuff. Like you should know basic finance, basic taxes, just simple stuff like that. If I were in charge, that would be, I would institute that immediately. That would be like day one type stuff. Scott says, I did that the first couple of years. Then I changed it to a medium risk dividend fund. All right. And Brian says, let's not forget, we taught how to square dance instead. I never got taught how to square. I don't know how to square dance. I no idea, no idea. I mean, I think I've seen it on television, like, they're kind of doing funky things, but if you put a gun to my head and said, square dance or else, I just hope people would say nice things about me at my memoriam, because it wouldn't go well. Oh boy. All right, guys. So we're at that point, and like I said, I will be back tonight. We're going to get the office hours at 7 o'clock Eastern. I can't wait. I'll see some of you guys there. It should be fun. There's no expectations like, come, hang, or don't come. It really doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about this one. Like if I'm there for an hour and nobody shows up, I'm okay with it completely. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, guys. Until next time. I do have one last thing I wanted to say to you guys. That is, well,